Hello and welcome to the very first edition of Inside the Tornado, Brevard's very own talk show where we invite very special student athletes to come and take a dive into their lives. I'm your host, Alex Bolton, and I ask you to please hold on tight as we prepare to take a step inside the tornado. Now today's NATO is a very special one. This is a category Porcelli. We are inviting on today Brevard Women's Soccer Senior number 3 midfielder Kiara Porcelli.
Hey.
Now Kiara, I'm gonna ask you a little bit of a tough question off the bat here as we get into it. I just want you to answer this simple question. Who is Kiara Porcelli?
Ooh. I would say I'm a very independent woman, and I'm a strong woman backed by a strong family, so I have a lot of love through my life. I also get the pleasure of having a really good relationship with all my friends and all my people in life. I'm hardworking, and I'm a smart individual who wants to get their education to help create a better life out there for students and everyone, and just a girl who wants to change my world and anyone around me. So yeah.
You know, the fact you brought that in there at the end, a little early. I was going to actually ask you about that later. So I just want to ask you, what is your real passion? I understand that you are an education major. You want to teach, I believe we already know that, right? What is your exact passion behind that? What is the impact that you want to leave on this world very much?
I think the love to learn is something that I struggled with in my younger years. It's just like the want to go to school. I didn't really have anything like that made me want to go, but then just growing up, I really love to learn. Like, I love to learn new things, and I like to learn about, in my education, I learn a lot about, like, the children's minds and how to teach, like, efficiently. But I think overall, like, end goal would to be able to give kids or give people love for what I love. So I love soccer. So if I'm able to coach and show them how fun it can be to just love something that I love and have fun, I think that'd be great. Give an education, just provide a classroom where, like, students can go and they can just have fun and they can learn to love to learn. So it's like some people don't get to have the best at-home lives, and if I can give them a school day or an hour and a half long soccer practice where they just get to have fun and learn something start to finish, that's really all I look to do.
Can you think of like any teacher in your life who you've ever had who kind of influenced maybe that emotion or passion in you?
Yeah, I've had a couple. I think my first grade teacher, funny enough, a while ago, was really great. Like, we just did a lot of fun stuff, and I think that's, like, we did plays, we had, like, parties, like, we just had fun with learning. We watched caterpillars grow into butterflies, and I think, like, that's fun. Like, I had so much fun with my learning that it was, like, something that I was like, wow, like, that'd be really cool to do. And then I've had some coaches that have showed me, like, why I want to go into coaching to change how it is for some people, because I've had coaches where I've been like, yeah, I don't really know if I love this anymore, and that's hard when it's your favorite thing to do. So being able to be, like, the difference in the coaching world to bring back the love people have for their sport or just make it grow is kind of what it would be like for me.
And definitely as like a fellow athlete, I'll just go ahead and like kind of input and ask, like, there comes a certain point when you get to college where the love kind of changes into work. And so you kind of have to learn how to balance the two. And so for you, since you come to college, what has that kind of been like, learning to hold the love you have but realize it's a lot more asking out of you?
I think so. I think my club seasons before I came to college, I think I was struggling a little bit with deciding, like, do I want to keep playing? Do I not want to keep playing? I think that's a hard time for athletes to, like, sit down and be like, do I even want to go through the process of this, or do I just want to be good here? And I decided to come here because, like, I just thought it would give me the opportunity to learn and grow on and off the field. And I think it was a really smart choice because it is a lot of work to do both things, to travel. I mean, we got home yesterday on the bus at 12 and played a game, and some of us had 8 a.m.s they had to go to. I had a 9:30, so I was lucky. But, like, that is hard. And I think having such a strong team to, like, always fall back on is crucial because we have 30-something girls, and if we, at the end of the day, I need somebody, like, I know the work can fall off a little bit because someone's going to be there to help pick it up. And I think it's just great. I think it does take a minute, though. When I first got here, I was like, oh, I think I'm drowning. And then you just find your people, you find your groove. My coaches were really helpful, and luckily I was able to kind of balance out. Now I think I'm kind of killing it. But it was a bit of a, oh boy, at first.
And so with that, if you could like talk to that young Kiara as she was coming into Brevard College, this your senior year, you look back, you're like, man, I've gone through so much, there's so much to reflect on. What would you go back and tell her coming in that she maybe could have used to know, whether that be on the field, in the classroom, or just being a social person on campus? What are some things maybe you even wish that you would have done that you didn't do?
I would have given myself a little grace. I mean, I was going from living with my parents to living 10 plus hours away from my parents. So I would have allowed a couple stumbles here and there without weighing on myself a little too heavy. But I would also just say, like, have some trust in yourself. Like, my parents gave me a life where I could very independently learn while I was living with them, but also, like, learn how to control and handle myself. So I just have, like, trust that it's going to be okay, that you have people you can call, you have places where you can go. Even though my family's far, they'll always be there no matter what. So I think just trust and it will happen I'm very big on that. If it'll be, it'll be. If not, don't force it. I also, like, when I was coming here, it was just one of those things where it's like I wanted to play soccer, and obviously I've made it work for 4 years. But it was also like, if it doesn't, then that's just that's what happens. And then we figure it out. I'm here for a degree. And luckily I get to do 2 things I love. But, yeah, so it was just kind of like a mental, like, give yourself some grace, girl. Like, it'll be okay. And then with friends, I lucked out because the people I met, like, even if I don't speak to them anymore, I think every one of them has taught me something great about myself. Every human I, like, interacted with here has, like, made me this person I am today. With the girls I played with before this year, when I got here my freshman year and my sophomore year, they were like big sisters that I needed, and that was also really helpful to have. So, yeah.
You kind of talked about that freshman year a little bit. If I recall, you played 15 games your freshman year. I believe you started 13 of them, and I think you had over 1,000. You played 1,000 minutes each year, but you've had 1,000 in your freshman year. Coming in freshman year, I know a lot of people, every sport's different, but most people don't come in expecting to play. Or maybe you expect to, but it doesn't end up how you expect it to. What was that like getting thrown into it?
I didn't expect it, no, but I also, like, I do have a lot of confidence in myself as who I am, and I'm very big on priding myself. Like, I put in a lot of work to be able to, like, pass the fitness test and to be fit and to be ready. So I did everything I could, and then from there it's just what's going to happen. But I think the girls that I was with helped out. So a lot of my older girls would be like, hey, like, this is what's going to happen. Hey, this team is, like, aggressive. Be ready. And I think that was helpful. But it is scary. I was scared. Like, there was games where I was playing against these girls where I was like, oh, God, I'm scared. Because it's also, like, I think college is in, like, college field playing. Like, it is an experience. I would say my college player now is way different than freshman year. And there were some things where I just wasn't ready for. And it was one of those things where it's like, oh, well, you got hit. You probably held on to the ball for too long. But next time you won't do it. You'll get rid of the ball at your feet. So I think it was just more of a, okay, like, you have this opportunity. It's what you do now that matters. And I think I was able to have the guidance and strength with myself to be like, we got this. So I thought it was good. It was hard, though.
I can believe it. And, you came into a program, it's been very successful since you've been here. Brevard women's soccer in general here at Brevard is very good. But you come into a successful atmosphere, but you're also coming from a successful atmosphere. Your senior year, actually leaving high school, you end up winning a state championship. Just tell me a little bit about that experience coming from success and then having more of it once you came here.
I would say that my my freshman and sophomore year, I would say we definitely weren't as a team as successful in high school as like the last 2 years, the bottom two. I also think that like my confidence as a player wasn't where it needed to be. So I think that like for me, I didn't get a lot of time on the field. I played, but like my junior and senior year, I played significantly more, and I think that just sums up to we had a coaching switch, but also just confidence in myself as a player, like just being like, you got it, you got to do it, and you can do it. So kind of watching the programs grow is what I would find similar because like while I've been here at Brevard, we've done nothing but grow. We started, and the girls that I was here with my freshman year, we put the work in, and then it carried over. And I would just say, like, each year we've stepped it up, and we have very much intentions to do the same and finish the job this year. But it's been cool to watch it grow. And same with my high school. I got to stay in and learn how to, like, grow the program and what it takes to, like, watch the change happen. So I think it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, so obviously where you come from, so you're here in North Carolina, Brevard, North Carolina, but you're coming from way up north in New Hampshire. You live in Florida. I've seemed to love the South now a little bit. You came to North Carolina and your family put you all the way down there in Florida. But tell me about just the difference in between New Hampshire lifestyle to here. What is some things about New Hampshire that you miss and love, and some things that you've come down here and learned I don't need that anymore?
Yeah, I think I love New Hampshire. I'm the biggest fan. One thing that I can do without sometimes is the like really long winter. We obviously have cold here, but I think there was like winter would overstay its course about 1 month in the north. Like after a little while, you're kind of like, okay, I'm ready for some sort of like light and sun. But one thing I did love about it is just the sometimes the pace of life, like just the way things move a little quicker in the north and people move with a purpose. And I do love a good like attitude from the north. I think you can tell the difference
Yeah, you
between
can.
people, and I love a good northern attitude. I like how we're straight to the point. We don't really beat around the bush, and I think that's nice sometimes. But I think also learning here in the South, I learned to take a moment, settle down, have a bit of patience when we're doing things.
I gotta say, it just hit my mind. One of the biggest memories I have of Kiara my entire life, knowing her in the last 2 years, is I was wearing this chain one time, and she asked me, "Was my chain fake?" When I tell you I'm from the South, nobody in the South would ever ask you that ever, even if they thought it. When I tell you, when she asked me that, I had to be honest though, because I'm like, dang, this chain is fake, you know. But I think that speaks a little bit to what she's talking about. But that's just the nature of where you're from, I guess.
Yeah, we think it. We're gonna probably say it. So I think that's nice though. Sometimes like, why not say what you're thinking a little bit? Why? Like I think sometimes we hold things in and it can cause issues. But it's like if you notice, like, and obviously in that turn that was probably something I could have kept to myself, and I'm learning. But like sometimes it's like if you're thinking something, just say it. And it's a hard skill you have to learn. So I think in the north it just comes a little natural to us, but I think sometimes it is good to bite your tongue a little bit. So,
It's the discernment, you say.
yeah, it's learning what is when it's good to just hold that one in. Yeah.
Now in high school, were you a student ambassador?
Oh, I was, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that and what that role took from you.
I would just say it was like my first like kind of like life as someone who helps the school. I think like it wasn't a big program, but I just helped with like tours, and like we had a day where freshmen would come in and do orientation and everything and just help out with that. I think it showed me kind of what it can look like to be involved in school and stuff like that. And I would say here I get more involved, but yeah, it was just kind of like a dipping your toe in the pool.
And so clearly, so you were pretty good and involved there at your old high school. Tell me, so you were actually named a 2024 Coaches Scholar All South Region second team performer by the United Soccer Coaches Association, which obviously means it's a lot more than just how you play on the field. Of course, you know, you got to have some skills. You got to be do a little something. You can't just be sitting out there doing nothing. But it means you get the job done in the classroom and at school as well. Tell me in college how, you know, the student ambassador that you were in high school is kind of translated to who you are here at college.
I would say in high school, I went to a very like academic school in a sense. I went to a private school, so it was like a little more academic focused than your public school would be. But I would also just say it probably came from my parents more. Like even in high school, they were like, get involved. Like it's more than just who you are in cleats, it's who you are everywhere. And then just like wanting to be involved. So I think that stems from like you are more than your player. You are more than a soccer player. You are more than a midfielder. You need to look for things other than that. You can obviously find a lot of love in your sport, but at the end of the day, at some point, it's going to stop. For me, it's going to stop after college. So it's like I need to be someone outside of my sport, and I need to be okay with life without it. So I need to be strong with where I'm at. And I know I'm going to get my degree, and whatever path I follow, I'm going to know that I built myself up in that area to be confident that I'm going to stay on my feet and I'm going to stay okay without soccer or with it. Like, I need to have, for me personally, that amount of security. So I think just making sure on all grounds my bases are covered and that I'm ready to go for when my sport is no longer something I can play.
Mm. And so with that, when you just take a moment and kind of reflect on your time here, again, just ask you to reflect a good bit today. We've already asked you, you know, what would you tell yourself back then? But now, just sitting where you are now, all you can do is affect your future. What is it that you still have the desire to do here and just in general?
Ooh, I just want to finish the year like strong, just in all bases. I want to be with my girls on the soccer field. I want to end on a good note, whatever that path is for us, and I want to have fun. I want to get my degree, and I want to learn along the way and just really enjoy it, because I just need to sit. Sometimes you just need to sit in the moment, and I think that's something like when life gets busy, I need to remember just like sit and be like, this is something I'm never going to get back. So like just be here with it, and I'm excited. I just want to be like strong in all aspects, strong in the classroom, strong on the soccer field, and just have fun with everyone I'm around.
Would you say, like, I don't know, I really liked how you spoke about just being present in the moment. I think that's something that at our age we can take for granted the most. Everybody said these are all, like, everybody looks back and they always tell you when you're coming to college, this is the most fun times of your life. And you spend so much of it thinking about tomorrow instead of today. You know, just like, how many memories have you just built up that you just feel like you're going to find yourself looking back one day like, wow, I really did that?
Yeah, I would. I think my friend group makes it very easy to be like, this is going to be something good that I can keep with me forever. Because I also find a lot of joy in, like, the small moments that we have. Like, if my friends are all sitting in the room and we're just sitting, even if we're, like, doing our own thing, like, it's just more about the company I'm surrounded with. So, like, having, even when we separate and go our different ways, like, at the end of the day, we know, like, there is somewhere out there in this world that cares so deeply about us that we can reach out to, we can call, and just like to sit with them and be with them. And when we all hang out and like our soccer trips, like there's moments all over where I'm just like, yeah, that's gonna make me laugh later. And it's just like keeping, like, I have so many that like to this day they randomly pop up and I'm like, wow, that was really good. So I'm blessed in that matter. Like, I have probably like over millions that it just appears from time to time where I'm like, oh my gosh, that's great.
And that's the point of life, ain't it?
Yeah.
Like, all those is the moment and the things to come. And so you talked about looking to finish strong. Obviously, you've all started a strong first game, 20 points. I mean, what the actual heck is that? I mean, I don't know how to explain that. Then you all go on the road and y'all win a game 4-0. Y'all doing a good job keeping the O on the board. Y'all must really like the number 0. But with that first game specifically, you only played 28 minutes, had 3 assists in that time. Just kind of tell me about what this strong start really says, not only about you and your performance and what you're expecting for yourself, but just this team. You know, what's so different about this squad?
I think we got a lot of young, so I think it's good. We got a lot of depth now, where it's really nice where whenever someone's going in, we're keeping that strength and it's looking good across the board. I think obviously like the scores of those games were good, but I think they were also good to see where we need to like build and strengthen. We went 4-0 on EMU. And I think like we can from there learn like when we come to the really difficult conference games, because they are just a different atmosphere, a different vibe, like we now get to see from that game where we need to like sharpen that up and clean that up. And I think me getting to play in those, like I obviously have the experience to know like, okay, that needed to be cleaned up a little bit. That was a little messy. So, like, for those games, it's kind of like for me to get to see, like, okay, that was good. We can kind of build from that. But also, like, if I'm going to be out here, I need to clean that up. So those games are kind of just good to see, like, what's good and what needs to be built.
So, obviously, we are looking forward to an amazing season from y'all. I've already started out exactly how we expected. We've learned a lot about you today, Key. If y'all didn't know, people call her Key as well, so that's another name. If you're watching this, if you see her around, say, what's up, Key? You know what I'm saying? If you can see her, she's very tiny. But either way, on a real note, though, before we get out of here, and I just want to make sure we leave out here on a good note, I want to just, give you a chance to just kind of look into the camera, forget me for a moment. Just think about, some of the people who got you here to this point, some people who really inspired you. And if they were sitting here talking to you, just forget I'm here. This is the people you're thinking about. What is it that you would want to say to them just about all that, just when you just think about it?
I would probably tell my people, God, so much, obviously, but that I just forever am grateful that when I need you guys, you're there no matter what. It's hard to be so far from home being people for me, whether they're back in Massachusetts or they're in Florida. It is hard, but they make it very easy. And I think you guys will never understand how grateful it is to have such a strong support from miles and miles away. To be able to feel the love is always just great. And for you guys to take care of me the way you do has made me forever who I am, so I am forever grateful.
Grateful is a word I kept hearing, and I mean, that's something I got to remind myself to be sometimes. But so let you know that I'm grateful for you being here today and joining us on this first ever. You will have to remember, you are literally the first ever edition here, you in Brevard Women's Soccer. So shout out to, Kiara Porcelli for joining us today on the first ever edition of Inside the Tornado. I pray you all enjoyed this, and NATO's out. Go NATOs.
Go NATOs.
Go NATOs.